One concert, and I had no idea it would grow into this. I just asked one of my students' parents if we could have a concert at their house. They had a really nice Steinway, and I just invited a few friends. So we just put on this one concert, and it wound up being really fun. And so I thought, well, might as well do this next month and see what happens. And that's when it really took off, from that second concert. The shock of how many people showed up, we had no idea. I just kind of put a thing on Facebook and mentioned it to some people. Anyway, tons of people showed up, and most everyone was musicians or music supporters, and we're really thrilled about what was happening. Happens to be a wonderful cook and hostess, very convenient, and just the combination of food and wine in someone's home makes it relaxed instantly. Part of the whole goal of it is to be informal. I will always pay my mom back as well for the food cost that she has. She spends so much time now organizing the food. I was kind of doing that at first, and then after, I think it was like the 4th or 5th musicale, I called her the next day crying, like with all these dishes that I had to wash in my dishwasher, and I just told her, no more food at musicales, we're over. And she said, okay, I'll take it over. So from then on, she's been organizing the effort just so the right people bring bread and salad and it's all balanced.
It's free. I mean, it's donation based, so if you don't have any money, you can still come. That was one of Amy's main drives for putting it together. She wanted, you know, anybody to be able to come and see this music.
Every concert is simply based on donations, so it's unpredictable. I've made much more at some concerts than others, and the costs really vary. My out-of-pocket cost at first was crazy. You know, I purchased a lot of dishes and wine glasses, tumblers, mugs, just the gas money for me to go meet all these people to try to have this concert in their home.
The musicales that Amy Cottingham has put together for Tulsa have been an extraordinary opportunity for our community to get together in a relaxed atmosphere. And from the musician standpoint, I mean, there's nothing better than the opportunity to play music in front of a live audience, because you never know what's going to happen. And you can't get that sort of practice like in the practice room or even in rehearsals with the other musicians. I mean, it's only in live performance where anything goes.
When we played our charade, we were like children posing, playing at games, acting.
Tulsa is just full of talent and people that have so much to offer, but oftentimes they need a platform from which to give it. So I'm simply trying to create a platform that allows people to have a unique experience.
I like the whole idea of the musicale too, which is like musicians get together and they perform music that they're sort of getting ready to do the big performance of. So there's kind of a playfulness to it. It's a little bit less nerve-wracking, a little less formal. I like that side of people, and I like that side of a piece of music too. That's sort of like just at the very end of the work in progress, where it's pretty much just a wonderful performance, and at the same time you're getting something honest, something raw and almost intimate.
You do? That was awesome.
That was at least awesome.
Thank you guys.
What's important is just getting to see all the musicians that you don't normally get to see, because we all get busy with our own gigs. So like once you get to a certain age, it's like you have so many gigs, but then you see all these other badass players coming up, and then you want to play with them, but you don't even realize that they're in town.
You could pinch me that I get to do this, and then at the same time meet people who live in Tulsa, who most of them aren't musicians. They're just here because they love it, and it's just been a fantastic way for our arts community to grow and for everybody to get to know each other, and it's an amazing thing.
I think most people have very particular experiences of live music. You have people that like putting on something kind of fancy and going to a jazz club and watching jazz. Then you have people that like dressing up a lot and going to the concert hall in a very formal setting, very separate from the stage, and watching there's a correct time to applaud and a time to not applaud, and that sort of setting. And there's a place for everything. I think it's all needed and relevant. One of my main motivations for the musicale was mixing all those people groups up. So if it makes some people uncomfortable, then so be it.
With Amy doing these musicales, she's being very open to letting all kinds of music come in. And it's so much fun because true musicians love all music.
The musicale provides kind of a central meeting ground for all of us to be comfortable enough and also to kind of push the envelope of new musical experiences. And it happens to be up close and personal. So I like kind of breaking down that wall whenever possible. If I step way back to something I feel is so important in a very broad sense in the world today, it's just simply the need for art. Anything artistic, anything expressive. I think a lot of people that are not musicians may view artistic expression as something that's not necessarily needed. You have so many different ways to earn money and to make a living, and some are viewed as more important than others. There are endless examples throughout history of people needing to express themselves and people coming together through some sort of artistic expression that heals and brings people closer together when you don't have words. That's part of what artists do. They express what everyone feels and wants to express, but words don't always allow us to do that. And that's one of the most basic human needs, is for connection and expression, and that thing that gives us passion. Not just fulfilling requirements and being a good parent and being a good citizen. What's beyond that?